Okay, so we're going to do another SEO opt-in report. Again, it's going to be on the wwf.org.uk example. So let's press that big yellow button. And this time we're going to look at the links section. So earlier we saw SEO on page. And the reason why we're going to go through the sections is just so you get a thorough understanding of how the SEO audit report is compiled. And hopefully the information is easier to resonate with. Let's go through. So the earlier course went through on-page SEO. Now we're going to look at the links section. So links are primarily other links to your website, but it also can be links referring within your website itself. So one page linking to the other. But the main area which helps you with SEO is typically backlinks, which is other websites connecting to your website. So let's go through, have a look. We saw that the other day. That was the SEO on page. And as we get, God, it feels forever, doesn't it, when you're scrolling down? Here we are, links. So, domain strength and page strength. Domain strength, now the algorithms, they don't tell us 100% what they are, but really it just means how long your domain name has been around. So for WWF, it will be wwf.org.uk. That's the domain name. The quality of that, so what they mean is how many different links are coming into that domain, and the quality of the content of your website and whether it actually represents what you do. So do your web pages kind of, are they consistent in what your services are? Are they consistent in keywords that they use? What they're trying to check is that you're not kind of just coming up with random content, and it is related to the services over time that you're offering, or what you're talking about, or what you want to be an authority to talk about. And that specifically is on page strength as well. So you have domain authority, which is things like how long has www.org.uk been around for, and how many backlinks does it have, and what's the quality of those backlinks. The reason being is you can have different reputable websites that have a better score over maybe less reputable websites. And all that comes into an equation to give you like an overall score. And this one's doing pretty well, 89. Then you have, I believe it's out of 100, I might double check that. Then you have the page strength. This could actually do better. And this might be because their copy is not long enough. I know this sounds strange. I believe we went into SEO earlier. Let's have a look. See, they have a thing called thin content. Yes, amount of content is thin. This could indicate, and this is how sometimes the reports connect to each other. It could indicate that they've not got a lot of copy on their pages of their website, or it's duplicating because of maybe different languages used, and they do use different languages, or maybe because a way of analyzing data, or a way of, showing multiple pages on a page. I'll explain this a bit more in a bit more clarity, I think. So page strength is, again, can be to do with the domain, but this is also as well the backlinks to particular pages. So pages within the website, the quality of those backlinks. So is it a reputable website or not, as well as what the content of the website is saying. Now, if you have thin content, this potentially could be impacting this. If you have bad quality links, it could be impacting this as well. So let's have a look. When it says backlinks, you typically will see this a lot higher. As you can see, 1.6 million versus the referring domains, because basically the domains just mean other websites. So if this is wwf.org.uk, that's a domain. Maybe Greenpeace refers to them. So Greenpeace would be one of these 33,000 odd numbers. Can't speak today, my numbers. Yet backlinks are the individual links added all up. So one page can have multiple links within there. So the domain is Greenpeace. Greenpeace may have multiple website pages that then link to WWF. That's why your backlinks you would expect to be higher. This piece, a little bit not that useful here, but it just tells you how many are no follow. That means that 31,000 odd of that has no follow on their URL. It just means that they don't have to then trawl your website as well. They are keeping the analytics on their own website. And that you don't really want that much, because if you have a follow, it means that you're giving away some of your kind of, what's it, SEO juice to another company. So on some of these backlinks, you might want to come up with partnership with people. You say, actually, no, don't put a no follow on there and allow those trawlers or those websites to come to mine and know what's just happened. So say Greenpeace links to WWF. You want Greenpeace to have their link to yours and don't put in the text no follow. That means that then Google will go, oh, I can go and search over there. All the different robots can go, oh, I can go and search over in WWF as well. And it gives you some more power, basically, to go up the SEO rankings. So they do actually have a high no follow backlinks. And that could be for a multitude of different reasons. But that also could be indicating that they might want to create a backlink strategy where that is lowered. But then you would do that with trusted partners, okay? Because like I was saying before about the domains need to be a trusted domain. So you'd work on your content in a partnership with different people to agree what that content is and maybe using them a backlink as well. So you kind of, there's a bit of a, helping each other out to go up the SEO rankings. This is just telling you about the type of domains they are. So this is an educational one, 249 are from educational websites, 856 are government ones. Subnet's a really strange thing, but basically it's a little bit like a network within a network. Not that helpful here. And IPs are just specific computer addresses. So domain actually has an IP, which is a funny number. Not that helpful here, right? But quite tech gobbledygook. What might be interesting and is interesting if you want to try and create up like a backlink strategy, again, I think I might have to do a whole course on that one as well, where you look at what your partnerships are and you look at the different websites that are sending you links. And so this is interesting. What they're doing here is categorizing the most popular ones. So domain strength, basically, they're saying, you know what, this is a really good website, okay? It's good quality, they're not dodgy, so they get 100% score. As you can see at the top, WWF had 89, so it was out of 100. Phew. But here's worthwhile looking. So you've got your domain strength here, and they do it in quality of order. So this is the best quality at the top. Then the referring page. So what is the URL of the page that referred to you? This looks really strange, but it is actually Greenpeace. This is the title of the page that's referred to you, and this is the text they used to create that link. But if you wanted to, you could actually go copy this and go and have a look. And I suggest if you're trying to figure out a backlink strategy to go and do that, I would also, if you notice, this is May 2007, I definitely think that this, even though they've not got a too bad a score, what was it? They have A minus. They definitely have areas of improvements on their backlinks because if you think that content 2007, they start updating that content and this partnership. This is then telling Google, you know what, this content's up to date, which Google loves, and it's generating me a high level of backlinks. Wow, they're going to reward you even more. Okay. So this is something that is worthwhile. And it's a bit of a manual look at and feel, but you need to connect with your marketing strategy and what you want to do. Greenpeace is obviously a great partnership with them. Let's carry on. The next one, and this one was a bit weird. It's a LinkedIn page, and it talks about, as I understand it, I didn't go through it all, about creating like zero emissions. And when I did a quick search, WWF is actually in a partnership to help companies on how you can implement a strategy of carbon neutral, if I read it or understood it correctly. So reducing their carbon dioxide emissions. However, yeah, it is, I think, an opportunity to look at content strategy because this, I think, was another old piece. Yeah. Oh no, August 2023. So that's not bad, actually. For some reason, I thought it was an old piece. So this is then quite recent. It's LinkedIn, and it doesn't seem connected that much to them. But because maybe it's really recent article or aka this year, it's going to be on the high up. So this is feeding into you have more relevant content, Google's going to reward it a bit more. So if this is relevant content, can you imagine how fast this is going to go up the rankings? I'm not going to carry on looking through the rest because this indicates probably different language, so I wouldn't understand what the hell that meant. But as you can see, you can check them all, and all of these are pretty good quality in terms of backlink. If you ever have anything really low here, then worry, or try and see how, I'm not sure how you can stop them backlinking, but that's not a great strategy, so then focus on strengthening good backlinks. Because you don't have control over other people's website, but maybe there's a dodgy website out there. Or I don't know if you've ever known where you have free services. Some people say, oh, I'll create your backlinking strategy. It's not always the best quality, so it's something to watch out for. Because that could actually impact your rankings on Google. So if you do have a low score here, just go and have a look and see what it is. And the best way to try and do it, if you can't get that link removed and it is low, is, in other words, Google doesn't think it's a good link, then actually try and strengthen your other links or create a partnership with someone that you can actually link with each other. And they keep their content up to date and its quality. Okay, next one this is where it's telling you the top pages by backlinks. So what are the pages on your website that get hit the most? And for WWF, it's events. As you can see, it's quite a high number. And that definitely outweighs the others. And to be honest, I would kind of expect that. And it's a good thing because it's showing they're using their content for those events. However, if I wanted to assure that I had, because WWF had thin content, in other words, they didn't have enough content in Google's eyes, I would use my events to create maybe even user-generated content with the other partners, or the other partners to talk about the events in a more elaborative way. That would create more content. But also WWF to create separate pages on each event, not just have an events calendar, for example. Actually create pages based on those events. Like, look, this was a day of everyone having fun at this event. Or look, this was, our cleanup day event. Actually create content around that, because that will help them go even more up the rankings, because you created new content which they love. And the links are more up to date. So you can link it from Greenpeace if that was one of the events, or maybe all the other partners that you had events with. So you have strong backlinks event strategy, which help you, and you have new content. So start as a content strategy for them to help with this and go up the rankings. I would say, maybe we can look to see if we can create new content based on how well your event went, what people thought about it, basically create articles on it. I think that would be a quicker way to just say that, wouldn't it? But what you can do is always just go and have a look at the pages and see. So if you're ever working with a client, just, have a gander at those pages. Yeah, when I look at these, this is the great events page, but as you can see, it's a bit like a calendar, right? Just find out more. And there's something here which is called paging. Can't even say it. Pageation? Nope, can't say the right words. And I'm going to explain later why I'm pointing this out, because this isn't helping with their Google strategy or the SEO strategy either. And there's different ways around that, okay? Sometimes there's not. Yeah, and as you can see, it's pretty much like a calendar, isn't it? To come off here. And if they had information, I know it says find out more, but if they had a bit more detail about, this was a wonderful event, this is what happened, rather than just about what the event is, that would definitely help them go up the rankings. But it's pretty good, it's got a huge amount of backlinks, but you can always do more. That's the beauty of SEO, it's a whole journey. Right, and top anchors per backlink. Now, anchor is just basically a link on a page, okay? It's a word that's used. It's an anchor on a page. It's the words that's used to connect to that link. So it's what you visually see. You kind of have this crest hand symbol, something will be underlined, and typically you'll just click on it and it's a link. That's the text that's used. So what they're saying is the type of text that's used that most backlinks, so other websites like Greenpeace are using to link to WWF, The main one that's used is they might say, hey, go to the Greenpeace, and website is the one that's linked. As you can see, big backlinks. Then the second largest is developing a pilot of the UK natural capital stress test, IFCOM and WWF UK, May 2017. That's what I think the LinkedIn article, even though that got updated, was back in 2017. That's making a bit more sense. So I think the WWF piece was something back, in 2017, I think. I don't know. I'd have to research that. So that seems a bit of a strange title. However, that also is quite descriptive, isn't it? And I call this out is because we don't know explicitly how things are helping. However, if this wasn't just website and it had like WWWF's website, I personally think it'll be better because you're putting in your brand keyword, and keywords and SEO all need to be connected together, okay, to create a holistic strategy. So ideally, if I was going to ask someone to link to my website, I would ask them to do like this, www.org.uk, or animal welfare even with WWF. Something that's more descriptive, the website and the content it's going to. And that, I believe, will help you with your SEO rankings. I say I believe because the algorithms don't explicitly tell you. But I think it's all a really good strategy to put in place. And plus, it's also better. Another reason why I think it will be better to name it is if you have readers, they know where they're going. Instead of just websites, it would be like, oh, go to the animal welfare website or go to the WWF website. So if you're visually impaired and have a reader, it would read through that link for you. So it would be better as well. Right. And this is the top referring domains. So domains, again, just means like www.org.uk. TLD just stands for top level domains, okay? So that means it's either your .coms, it's your organizations, it's your educations, it's your .nets. There's loads of others that created, I think it was way back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. And you could have things like .vodka, .music, .thing. They didn't really take off. And I remember when I was working for a rather big drinks company, someone asked me to spend a fortune when we was figuring out, or I was working or responsible, shall I say, for their strategy. And I refused to do it because I thought, no, it's not going to take off. I'm kind of happy I took that bet because it didn't. But you can still get them if you wanted to. That I digress. But this is just really giving you a proportion of where the main traffic's coming from. As you can see, it's color coded, and .com is your major one. And then organization is your second largest, .co.uk third, and then fourth is .net. And then other? Actually, no, other is the largest, isn't it? Sorry, second largest. That means it becomes from a different range. It could be coming from another language, like .es is Spain, .it, Italy, actually .de for Germany. It becomes from anywhere, really. And I don't believe it splits it down. No, it won't. Right, so the top countries, this is where the location of the people are, and that can be told by the website. You will put in like where the country of the website is. So mostly this is US, then you've got Great Britain, then you've got Germany. .co, I'm not sure what that would be. It'd be a company, and other, I don't know. I believe .co is a company. I should know that. I'll look that up actually and put that in notes. It also can mean that they've not put their country setting and the language setting on their website, which also can be naughty, but you can still get away with. Right. So top geographical locations, it's telling you top level domain name types, which are referring to your website. On page link structure. Now, this is what they're saying here is how you're structuring your links. Actually, it's here, friendly links is not that great. On page link structure, what they're just saying, it sounds really boring, but we found 82 total links. 27% of your links are external links and are sending authority to other sites. So you know I said there's a bit of a link juice and you share with each other? Of the 82 links that you have, WW have, linking to other websites, to other external websites, they are not employing a no follow, right? So that means they're allowing 27% of those other websites to get a little bit of the SEO juice. So maybe they have good partnerships with them, that they also want them to help them go up the Google rankings. And you can agree these with different companies to have the partnerships. It's bad practices to always have a no follow on everything, I think, if you're in partnership with them. So when you can open it up, don't worry about these. These are all your internal links, and you would expect all your internal links to be follow unless it has a funny URL with like a question mark after it. So anything like this, I don't know if you remember, we had something like a page and it equaled that. Anything like that is not great on here when it says follow, because it's not technical reasons. It's hard to explain, but technical reasons. And I'll go through in a little bit more detail. But when it's internal, don't worry about follow, especially when it has a unique URL, okay? Unique page URL, because you want that, because it's indexing all the pages for you. When it's external, you've got two here. I wouldn't know what that is. I would have a look, right? Because I don't know what that is. Maybe I would put a no follow on that, because cookiepd.co.uk, giving consent to cookies. Bit of a strange one to have a follow, and I don't think you necessarily need that to have a follow on, because this is, don't know if you ever go onto a page and you get these really annoying pop-ups saying accept, don't accept your cookies. It was a European law that came in ages ago, again, like early mid-2000s, where you had to give consent to what a website tracks. Now, nearly everyone doesn't read the terms, so they just accept everything. I'm guilty of that too. Just because it's really quite annoying and it's baked into the terms and conditions somewhere of what they do. But typically you have to put it in place. So if you have Google Analytics, you'd have to have it. Well, you have to have it for all now, but there's any form of analytical tracking, be that for even changing the sort of the criteria of your web page. Maybe if you had a filter option, or if you're checking what browser they're using. All of that can be built into your analytics and how you code the website, and is normally bog standard in any website now, even if you're setting up in like a web content management system using templates, all of that is built in. So you would normally have your cookie pop up on every single website that you see. This one is using that consent, that annoying pop up, and actually giving some of their their juice away, their traffic to this pop-up. So this actually I might put to a no follow, because it doesn't make sense. It's not someone I want a partnership with that I want them to take some of my SEO creds from. Okay, let's see if it shows us actually what it is. Yeah, cookie notice consent explained. So I wouldn't necessarily, I'd have that as a no follow. So this website is actually explaining what they are and why you need them. And then it probably is a tool to enable you to put it onto your website. So I have that as a no follow, and you can change that in the code. So wherever that link appears in the HTML piece, you can get techie to do, you can just put no follow. Okay. This one, the one trust cookie consent, again, it seems like it's following. So I put that as a no follow as well. So that can improve their juice, because they keep all the ranking information. So that helps. Right, last but not least, by the way, links can come across as quite technical, and it's an area that you might have less control of because it's mainly from other websites connecting to you, but you can use your content and your marketing strategies and partnership opportunities to build up better domain strength and connection with other brands. So this is the marketing piece and deciding who you want to collaborate with. Right, friendly links. So this is saying it hasn't got friendly links. All it just means is it needs to be human. So wwf.org. Then you might have something like, hyphens are very good, by the way, events. That is human readable. Again, for equal opportunities and people that have readers, they want to see it that way. But they also reward it for anyone to be able to understand the website they're going to. They want them to be nice and easy to read. Then it's going to give you a bit of details why. Do you remember the question mark on the page? It didn't like that. When we looked at their events page, I think it was, where was it? This one, let's go back. It had what they call that pageation thingy. I can't pronounce this. That's where it's changing. Now, actually with SEO, this is a nightmare. Even Google can't come up with a decision. It doesn't like that so much, this page thing. There are different workarounds around it, but you've only got you've got 20 up to 23 pages. And this is where it's saying the parameters is this question mark thing. It doesn't like it. It also means you can lose authority with Google, because what they are saying is that the content's so similar on each page, you're naughty and you're duplicating your copy. And that might not be the case, but that's what could happen, right? Because these are so similar in structure, Google might go, hang on, you've got 23 pages that are practically the same. Well, they've only got 3 pages here in instance, but I think it went up to 23 in some cases where it could do, by the looks of it. Then it's Google saying, actually, you are copying content. That's not great. Naughty people. So you could go down the rankings a little bit because of that nice feature. And that might allude to, do you remember they had think content up in your SEO section? Why they are still getting told off for think content up here? Because think content is, they're saying they count the average amount of words, but they count the average amount of words which are different, not necessarily duplicated. So you get penalized when you have duplicated copy or not a lot of copy. Or not a lot of copy compared to code, shall we say. And on this page, this is probably a lot of code and it's not a lot of written copy. So it's something I'd watch out for, because this has the major amount of backlinks. So this is also explaining why their page is not great, their page domain authority. See, there's page strength, because it talks about the quality of the content on that page. This page is structured quite technically and wonderful layout, but all of this is blocks of information, not content. And you've got all your backlinks driving here, which is wonderful, huge volumes. However, because they don't have content and they don't have descriptive content on there, their page quality's strength has gone down because they're not describing what those events are. They're giving lots of blocks. So that would probably explain why such a low score. If they could approach this in a different way, not look at the pages, give actually additional information down here maybe, which is a bit more descriptive, or even have this show somehow underneath when you click it, because this is the main page, that would help with the domain of the page authority or the page strength significantly. So I would look at a way and what might take you people to how I can restructure that. I'd have to look at it myself again. I haven't restructured those pages in a while. But this will probably really help them grab the rankings quite quickly, even though they are probably high up there. But, you know, it's a journey, as we say. So in this case, they're doing well. Underscores just means like this. You know, this is a hyphen. Typically now, they like to change to hyphens rather than underscores a lot of the time. Symbols, meaning that you are using the symbols if relevant or not needed. File names, a simple way of structuring things. Oh, confusion. But this is how it's all set up, that the path depth, so how many links to get to that page, and the length, so it's short, basically. So this you will need to work with your techies about how it's structured, especially when you have things like this. And you might have things like this if you're a marketeer. Have you ever seen like the UTMs? The UTM kind of, you have a campaign and it equals a certain amount. It's a way of tracking, and you use them all the time for analytics. So you would need to figure out how you use these for tracking, how you use them for sorting pages in a way that it doesn't affect your SEO too much. And my top tip is to use something like the Google Search Console. Tell Google Search Console what this is, and then that will help a little bit with your SEO as well, because you're telling them, hey, when I've got these pages, it's just for a page sort. Please don't tell me off. Please don't mark it as duplicated copy. That could be another option, but that goes into a whole new section. Okay, and also as well, I think we had it in on-page SEO, so you see how it connects. Chronicle, yeah, links. This is the bit where you have the question mark. So they are saying kind of sometimes what those pages mean. So Google, in some cases, is not counting. In some cases, it might be if they haven't set it up correctly. Okay, so they're not always counting it as duplicate, or they know which one is your primary one. You might use if you have language settings, you might use that if you have sort settings, you might use this if you have page settings, you might use this for tracking. God, I'm going a bit too technical now. Yes, this is really more something to talk with your key about how you improve this, and use something maybe like a Search Console, explain to Search Console, to Google, what these pages are for, and to not double count them. So not to see them as duplicated copy. Okay, that's it for now. bit technical on that bit. The next one we'll go through, hopefully a little less technical.